In this video I'm going to talk about this, the Hitachi NT1850 18V cordless 18 gauge brad nailer or finish nailer. I've had this tool for about 2 months now and I've used it on several projects already. And before I got the Hitachi nailer I was using this, the Makita AF505N pneumatic nailer. These are two quite different beasts really, and I thought it'd be worth comparing the two throughout this video in case any of you are interested in switching from a pneumatic nailer to a battery operated nailer like I have. But first I'll talk about the features on the Hitachi nailer and also how it operates. This tool has a brushless motor for improved runtime and durability, and the motor has no wearing parts, so it requires less maintenance than a gas or pneumatic nailer would. It fires nails with compressed air using Hitachi's air spring drive system and is capable of firing 18 gauge nails from 16mm to 50mm in length. It has an integrated tool hook which folds over, an LED light for extra visibility when using the tool, a safety lock switch to prevent the nailer from firing if the nose and trigger get pressed accidentally, which could potentially happen if the nailer was in a bag, for example. A toolless nose for clearing any nail blockages, although I've not had to use that yet. And a depth adjustment wheel to set how deep you want the nails to fire in. The control panel has 3 buttons. A power button which turns it on and off, and by the way, if you leave this on it will automatically switch itself off after half an hour. A function button which you can press to go from normal trigger operation to bump fire mode. The flashing blue light indicates that the bump fire mode is active, and a button to check battery level. I've tried this nailer with both softwoods and hardwoods, and it's always sunk the heads of the nails below the surface of the wood, even with the longer nails. And the nail holes it leaves aren't too big either. Next I'll talk about what I like and dislike about the tool, and the thing that I like about this the most is simply not being tethered to an air hose. In a really small workshop like mine, it just makes life so much easier. It's also much easier to use the nailer outside of the workshop for working off site or in my home or my garden, because I don't have to drag my heavy air compressor along with me. For me personally, because I mainly only use my air compressor with a nail gun, it also gives me the option of being able to get rid of my air compressor entirely, which would free up a significant amount of space that I can use for other things. I also like how quiet it is. I expected it to be much louder, and while it doesn't make as satisfying a noise as an air nailer does, it is still nice and quiet. It's extremely quick firing, capable of firing 3 nails per second. For the work that I do, I don't think I would ever need to fire that quickly, but it's nice to know that it's capable of that. I also like that there's a vision panel on the side of the magazine that turns yellow when you're close to running out of nails to tell you to reload. That's really useful because this nailer will dry fire when there are no nails installed, which will leave nasty divots in the wood, so it's good to be able to quickly see when you need to reload your nails. I also really like the nose on the gun. I find it easy to fire in nails accurately exactly where I want them. It feels really nice in the hand and the build quality seems excellent. It feels like a tool that would withstand quite a lot of abuse. Battery life seems excellent. I've mainly used this tool with the Hitachi 3A batteries. Apparently you can fire as many as 1600 nails on a single 3A battery charge. And as I mentioned earlier, it's always sunk the nail heads beneath the surface of the wood, both in softwoods and hardwoods, even with the longer nails. Now on to what I dislike about the tool. I don't like that there's no diagram on the nail depth adjustment wheel to tell me which direction to twist the wheel in order to set the nails in more or less deep. I can never remember which way to turn it, so I'll probably just end up drawing an arrow on there with a Sharpie pen or something. The battery charge indicator only has 2 lights to tell you if the battery is more or less than half full. It would have been nice to be able to tell more accurately how much juice is left in the battery. For me that's not really a major issue, but I thought it would be worth mentioning. It's obviously bigger and heavier than a pneumatic nailer, but the same can be said for all of the battery operated nailers like the ones available from DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee or Ryobi. That's 25 centimeters and 34 centimeters. That's 26 centimeters and 29 centimeters. 3.5 kilograms with a battery and 1.5 kilograms. I haven't personally found the extra size or weight to be an issue, but if you're regularly using a finished nailer in tight spaces, then the extra size is definitely something you would want to consider. For me, the extra size and weight is an easy compromise to make for the extra flexibility that a cordless tool gives you. So in summary, I really love this nailer so far. I haven't used my air nailer since I got this. It does everything I need it to do, and it does it extremely well. I'm pretty over the moon with it. It is quite expensive at around £290 or $400. Hopefully over time the cost of battery operated nailers will come down, but if you're lucky enough to have the money to spend on one, I would highly recommend it. Thank you for watching.